streaming about the tutorial class that Gary Keller is teaching next Tuesday from 10 to 2. So that will be live streamed here in this room, and Gary Keller is teaching that one. So that will be live streamed, that will be here. Check the front desk. Let me turn this over to Danielle from Morrison Plus Property Inspections.
Thanks so much, Jacqueline. Hello, everybody. This is my first time here. My name is Danielle from Morrison Plus Property Inspections, with your new vendor partners, and I'm very excited to get to know all you guys in this office. So I'm sure most of you guys know what a home inspection is, so I'm not going to go through all of that. What I will say is, just real quick, we specialize in communication. So our goal is to make sure that we're communicating effectively with both you and the clients, making sure everybody understands what's going on during the home inspection and understands the results of the home inspection. We find that it makes people a lot less nervous about the entire process if we're able to communicate it effectively. And then that said, just as far as our services go, we try to offer everything from roof down to the crawl space. So anything that we can possibly inspect and get into, our inspections are very thorough. If we can't access a roof, sorry, no feedback there. If we can't access a roof, we do have drone, and we will use a drone to make sure we get up there and look at that. We are getting ready to roll out our sewer scoping services starting on April 1st, so we can look at everything under the house, on top of the house, and inside the house. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to catch me after the meeting. I also included my cards and my brochures over there in your little vendor corners, so you guys can pick one up there. And for those of you that I'm not already friends with on social media, you can just Google, or not Google my name, well, you can't Google my name, but that's not what's going to pop up. You can just, you can just go right into Facebook, type in Danielle Walter, and I will pop right up there, and you can find me, and go ahead and follow me. All right, so thank you guys very much. I'm not good. Eddie, you're the more.
I know, I'm short, come on. What's up, you guys? How are you? It's so good to see everybody out today. So, real quick economic news. The Fed came out today, had a conversation, they did not lower rates, but they did say that everything was moving in the right direction and that they're still planning on 3 rate cuts this year. There's only 9 months left. So, the third of those months, we should be getting rate cuts, hopefully, fingers crossed. But it did improve the market, so we did get our pricing improved in the middle of the day. That being said, I wanted to let you guys know some really exciting news. The movement has been working on an entire Salesforce platform for the entire company. And I happen to be on the advisory board helping build this out with all the techie geeks, right? And the really cool part about it is that we're actually opening up our database to you guys so that you can see and follow along all the leads that you give us. You'll be able to have your own login and see exactly where they're at. You'll be able to see our notes, you'll be able to make your own notes, and you'll be able to refer people right through there. It's a badass piece of software. There's an app that comes with it. And you'll be able to download the app. I put the QR code right there in the middle, but I also had posted something yesterday. A bunch of you guys had typed in rate. We're going to be putting out a daily rate watch email, right? And it'll shoot you an email in the morning. It'll tell you exactly what all the different rates are for jumbo loans, 15-year loans, conventional, FHA, VA, and it's national averages, you guys. It's not specific. So if you need a specific rate, obviously you're going to have to have a conversation with me. But otherwise, the invite, you can either hit this QR code. I'm just going to send everybody an invite. You guys, whoever wants to join in, please. You can download the app. The awesome part, and I've been talking about impact lending for quite some time, is it's going to actually even tell you what kind of impact that this particular loan is making on your community, how it's helping the kids that we're giving back to all the schools that we're building, how many backpacks this particular loan was able to finance, how many kids chairs they received, how many kids' education was paid for just through this one transaction we did. So it's awesome what they're doing. The daily rate watch email and the new More app it's on both Google Play and App Store, so I'll shoot everybody an invite, and whoever wants these emails, please accept, and you'll start getting them all over. So thank you very much, you guys. It's good to see you guys again. Oh, last thing, tomorrow, 3 to 5, we're all going to the corner and drinking, so please come with me.
Okay, if you were at our awards banquet earlier this year, take yourself back there for a moment. We are just going to pretend that because we are humans, sometimes things don't go as planned. We should have had an award for someone that is getting an award today. Back then, I wasn't there in that moment, and so today, we are taking a very special moment to present an award for individual GCI class level. So I'd love if Miss Judy would come join me out here.
I'd like everybody else who's who got an award who didn't receive it to come up. I don't think there was anybody else.
Carla just left. All right, ready?
Do you guys want back up?
Let's do it by the backdrop.
What's your housing disclosure?
There you go. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you.
And Miss Judy, before you sit down, Miss Judy, before you sit down, do you have a property pitch today? Do you have a property pitch today?
Okay, everybody, so this is a coming soon property, and there's actually a reason for that. This is a beautiful home in Sunnyvale Ranch. Some of you have the flyers on your table here. It is a 4+1 bedroom, 2,909 square feet. The +1 is actually could be a bedroom because it's got a closet in enclave area, so it could be a 5th bedroom, and that's 2 bedrooms on the ground floor. This is it's got 2-car garage, 3.5 baths, and it's going to be active on the 2nd of April, and I will be showing it on April 6th because I'm going to Greece. And I won't be here, so I really, and she needs time to clean out the house. This is a very lovely client of mine, so please come over. I'm going to try to have some food and stuff like that for you guys. And that property is listed very competitively at $1.199 million. So for 2,900 square feet, I think it's a great deal. The fees are still there, but they're a little bit low. I think the Melrose is about 205 because that's not bad at all, and the HOA is 186. Okay, so what else do I? Okay, there's a fountain in the back, and it's got an enormous family living room combo. So the whole bottom floor is open floor plan. Beautiful. It's got a little alcove upstairs for whatever computer desk you want to have. This house is. I actually sold this house 5 years ago. And now I'm reselling it. They want to relocate. So thank you very much for letting me pitch.
Why do they choose the co-op?
Amazing things are happening.
3 steps at co-op.
We have a coaching shout out. This one is actually a little different because this person's not licensed yet. Alex, if you can stand up. 22nd, 23rd, right before we all went to family reunion, and he was like, can I go to the office? And I'm like, sure, we're not gonna be there though. He's been here every single day. Back in Hillcrest days.
And for those agents that are new, I was just sharing that I moved into real estate right before COVID, and so I pivoted really fast. I didn't know any better. For our new agents that are coming in, everything you're learning, this is just going to be how you operate. You don't have to break any bad habits. So I'm excited for you because you're just going to learn this new way, and it's an exciting time for that. We also have another spotlight for somebody, and I just wanted to congratulate Emily on for those of you who want to know more about escrow partners, we're having a lot of education coming up. So you will start to see that there's going to be additional training that's going to pop up on the calendar. So just know that's coming. Yes, this is one of the things that we'll be teaching. Thank you. That was fabulous. It just popped up there. We are going to be teaching a class called How to Help Your Buyers Avoid Wire Fraud. If you were in the team meeting with Broker Bob, you know that's a big deal right now. We are going to be teaching a class on some steps that you can take to help make sure that that goes swimmingly and that your buyers aren't putting themselves at additional risk. So we will be covering that. There will be more things coming from escrow partners as well. And go see Nicole across the hall if you have any upcoming escrows. With that, I'll go back over to Ashley.
All right, so now we get the staff portion. You all know I pick a holiday or a special day 90 days from today. 90 days from today is June 18th, and this is a real thing. It's National Panic Day. So today's not the day to panic, but maybe on June 18th.
More like
It's really all about making sure you're self-caring so you don't panic. If you're in a good emotional and physical health spot, all this other stuff is much easier to take. We tend to get panicky when we're unhealthy in other ways, and then additional stress is put on us. All right, so 90 days from today, because what you're doing now will show up in your bank account 90 days from now. It's just the law of real estate. You could get lucky, have it happen a little bit earlier. Most of the time, it's a 90-day cycle. Okay, this is going to be about 6.5 minutes. Joe Fair sent me this over the weekend. You want to set my phone off? Smokey.
They still need a copy.
This is actually, you guys all get this PowerPoint. You may want to save this video. It's obviously a YouTube link. It comes from Gary London's company, which is now London Mortar Advisors. Gary has been one of the biggest advisors in San Diego real estate my entire career, so it's at least since 1999. He's brilliant, and his business partner is younger and just as brilliant. And this is, at least from a third party, meaning they don't have to doubt you as the agent who's trying to upsell them. This comes from pretty legit researchers as to why our prices in San Diego are where they're at. It's really, really good, so I wanted to play it for you, and you can send it out to your clients.
If you're a business owner, then
That's
animate
not-
their videos
All right,
the best
that's
way
it,
to
that's-
capture attention, get more followers, and drive more sales.
Hi, I'm Nathan Miller with London Motor Advisors, and this is a quick perspective on the housing market and why prices.
Keep it showing on my.
That's it? Come on. Stay on.
Hi, I'm Nathan Miller with London Motor Advisors, and this.
Sorry, guys. I should have prepped her. My phone. Well, it's opening a YouTube window, which is not there. Okay, it's out. Yay. Everybody seen this?
Hi, I'm Nathan Miller with London Motor Advisors, and this is a quick perspective on the housing market and why prices are as high as they are. So let's get started. So what we have going on in the state of California, specifically in the coastal areas, is we have this California housing experiment that has been happening for quite some time now, a couple of decades, where we have shifted our growth from predominantly single-family homes over to multifamily homes. And as this chart shows, it shows that by decade, going back to the 1950s, that about 60% in any given decade in that red line has been single-family homes, which means about 40% is multifamily construction, apartments and condos and townhomes. Into the future, for the next 30 years, which we're in it right now, all of the growth predominantly is going to be multifamily. So you can see when we get out to 2040 and 2050, we're hardly going to have any single-family home construction. It mainly is going to be multifamily homes. The reason that this is called a housing experiment is because we don't know if it's really going to work, and we don't know what the repercussions are. They're starting to play out now, but in the future, we're betting the entire growth in the state of California on the acceptance of multifamily as a product type for families. What that means is we're betting that 9 out of 10 people who traditionally would purchase a single-family home, that they will not want one. That they will accept multifamily and raise their families in a multifamily apartment style construction. And we're starting to see some of that play out, and we'll get into that here in a second. This first chart shows the rate at which we build housing in Southern California. The purple line is total building permits each year per 1,000 population. And if you look at that red dot, we're currently building at the 1990 levels. We're just not building enough housing. Much of this has to do with the lack of single-family homes. So you can see the blue line has just fallen off. And for the most part, apartments have been okay, and multifamilies. We're building at the 2000 levels. It's been pretty consistent. Where we're at today is where we were in the 2000 period. But what happened with the single-family homes is because of the choice to curb development and let's focus on the infill, that has resulted in a reduction of permits. So we're building actually below the building pace that we did in the 1990s. We're actually lower than that for each of these areas in San Diego, Orange, LA, San Bernardino, Riverside, Ventura, all of Southern California. At the same time that we have experienced a decline in single-family permits, and we've taken that family housing out of the economy, what we've done with our multifamily is we've actually increased the proportion of what we call small units, studios, one bedrooms, and micro units that cannot accommodate families. So it's kind of a double whammy here where we reduce the construction of multiple bedroom units, single family homes, but we've increased the construction of small units. In San Diego, we increased it from 43% to 55% of all multifamily construction, this is apartments, is smaller units. And that's the case in Orange County, LA, Riverside, San Bernardino, Ventura. And this is a feasibility perspective, which is beyond the scope of this video, but units are becoming smaller, and we're seeing more small units being created because that's what's feasible in the marketplace. The result has been a spike and an increase in single-family home prices, which we've all witnessed and we've been reading about. It's pretty much out there wherever you look. So the solid line here shows the rate at which we build single-family homes per 1,000. So it's permits per 1,000 population. As you can see, they're all low for the areas of San Diego and Orange, LA, Orange County, Ventura. They have fallen, but the dotted line shows what has happened to housing prices. This is the average sale price of homes. And you can see that, today we're looking at average of $900,000, go up to Orange County, it's over $1 million. So there's not enough supply, but the demand is unsatiated. It's still high. There's still an appetite for these homes. And so, that's why we've got these higher home prices, because of the lower supply. So let's look at the crisis in for sale housing. This is not an affordable housing crisis. This is a subcomponent of that. I'm just looking at the crisis of for sale housing. So this is the amount of our growth that we have seen in terms of single family homes versus multifamily construction. Single-family homes in San Diego County, this is average annual housing permits, has fallen by 60%. So in the 2000s, we were building about 7,800 units a year. The last 5 years, 2019 to 23, we have fallen down to about 3,100 units. That's a 60% decline. Basically, we're not building 4,662 homes every single year. We're just not building it. But we've increased multifamily construction from 43% to 68% of all of our growth. This last slide shows the cumulative shortage of single-family homes because of the reduction in single-family permits. The last 5 years, we're short 23,000 single-family homes. Going back to 2012, which is a 12-year period, we're short 56,000 single-family homes. Single-family homes have traditionally been the largest component of for-sale housing. We're not building for-sale housing, and that's why we're seeing an increase in pricing, is because there's so much demand for it still. And instead of having to sell 8,000 homes every single month, we're selling just above 1,000 homes. That's all that's available. So the demand is there, it's just that the supply is lacking. And we've substituted it with multifamily housing, which is not meeting the demands of those families that are in their 30s and 40s that want to purchase and move into a bigger space and start their path to home ownership.
So I thought this girl was working out like crazy, but she wasn't. I met her yesterday in the gym, and I asked her, "How do you look for it?"
Is that what I'm excited. We are
Right, so he's not the most charismatic guy, but it's a really good explanation for what I told you guys every month for the last several years.
building enough new construction.
And again, it can come from somebody else. You can sell that out to your clients, and I think it's pretty accessible. Look, we are not building the units, so what's gonna end up happening to prices? There's no other way except for them to go up. There's just no other way. All right, so let's look at what's happening.
Hey,
Oh, what is that?
Actually, when they're saying, when he's specifying multifamily, what
Apartments.
apartment buildings?
Yeah, we're not building that many condos. Most of what you see going in, and we're in a current place to see it, you drive from here to Mesa, there's a lot of apartments that have gone up in the last couple of years. What he's saying is that single-family homes for sure are not being built. But all for-sale housing is way down in terms of permitting, which is why condos and houses are both going way up. But houses are going up faster than condos because they're going to be less in them. I don't know if there's more demand, but because pricing. Right. We have the demand for condos because at least it's still affordable. So you're seeing them both go up. And that's what he was debating. The bet developers have made in Southern California is that people will desire multifamily units more than for sale units, and they will desire smaller units versus houses. I don't think that's the case. I haven't seen that be the case yet. But that's the bet they made, and now we're 55,000 homes short. At least in our lifetimes, prices for houses are going up, likely for condos too.
And it's making it more challenging for the multifamily market for pre-existing multifamily buildings.
Because all the new buildings, sure. All right, so here's the good news. Let's start with some good news. For the first time in a very long time, we are up. The first 2 months of the year, we're 19.5% more listings taken in 2024 than 2023. That's a good thing. So far, that's resulted in 7.5% higher sold units also. And you should start feeling like there's a little bit more time and choice. Certainly not a tremendous amount of inventory, but it's more than it was. So there you go. Last month compared to this month, what is available, what's pending, what's sold. I'm gonna go through some of these really fast because you've got the slide deck. The ones that are important, I'm gonna stop on. So this represents all listings taken in the months of January and February in 2022, 2023, 2024. In this short amount of time, 2 years, 3 years is not a lot of time historically. Look at the blue lines versus the yellow lines. The red lines are last year, the blue lines are 2022, the yellow line is 2024. Look at how quick that shift was in terms of listings and pricing. That's pretty crazy. All right, sold's gonna follow the same thing. What you should be seeing is we had a lot of much more affordable housing 2 years ago than we have now. Listed last year versus this year, first 2 months of the year. Look at the disparity in 1 million to 2 million. Our prices are going up so quickly, even in these last 2 years that from a unit standpoint have been very difficult. The prices are zooming up so that what was 900,000 is now 1.3 million. Which is why that 1 to 2 million, I sat here pulling the numbers last weekend with my phone going off, going, I'm gonna have to pick new price points again. Because 1 to 2 million, I probably need 1 to 1.5. 1.5 to 2. Otherwise, it's gonna be wonky. The solds, the cool thing is, the solds are following it. So if we listed it at 1.5 million, it's selling. That's because we have so many move-up buyers who have made a lot of money, they've got a lot of equity in the house they're selling, and now they can put it in the next one. What's disappearing, and I've said this multiple times, will be out of for sale real estate under 400,000 probably by the end of this year. It just won't exist in San Diego County anymore. Active houses by my old price points. This is good to use with both sellers and buyers to go, oh, you can afford a $500,000 house? Well, we have less than 100 to look at in the entire county. By the way, I didn't look at every single one of them this time, but many of those are not houses. They're cabins on land you don't own. They're out in Jacumba Hot Springs. Maybe a lot of them are manufactured homes. So the sub $500,000 single family house, that's pretty much gone. Has been for a while. And it's happening with condos too. We've got some condos out there that are extra special. And in the entire county, as of yesterday, we only had 18 condos under $300,000. I went, oh my gosh. We may not have condos under $300,000 by the end of the year. Okay, here's our absorption rates for February. So this is for January, February. Those are really high. Our market is accelerating again. It's going to be likely incredibly crazy. And before this information came last Friday, I was saying, and I know I've said it to you guys, run fast the first half of the year. Because we have an election in the second half of the year, it's going to make things wonky. We know that. But we can make, it's going to be a busy market at least through the end of June. The stats are showing us that. We definitely are still going to have a wonky get close to election time. And now we have this added benefit of all the changes in July. So I'm going to really advise you guys, double down this next 4 months. And you know, most of you know me, I would never say work 12 hours a day. Work 12 hours a day through June. And then you can earn some freedom and flexibility past that. Unless you're gonna have a baby. All right, new listings. This was also like, oh my God, look how it spiked up in February, or January, February. That's a good spike. And it's the first time in years that we've been over the previous year. That's a good thing. And if that trajectory continues, we will have the ability to close a lot more homes this year than we did last year, which would be awesome because last year was an all-time low. Actives, still historically, not a lot of choice. Oh, the good old days. Pendings. When we have increased listings, we have increased pendings. It's always gonna follow because the demand is already there. Solds, look at that trajectory. Loving that. This indicates we're gonna have we're gonna end the first quarter really strong and be set up for a really, really strong second quarter. So keep the foot on the gas. Median sales price. Wait till you see the next slide. This is the last number, 1,029,000, is for February. February is not usually the apex of the year. Just FYI, it's usually a low point of the year when it comes to value. February 2024 is the highest median we've ever had for houses, and damn near the highest for condos. Okay, everybody take a deep breath. Drum roll. Our average sales price for a house in San Diego and the average sales price for a condo in San Diego, the highest it has ever been in the history of the world in February 2024. And it's only going to get higher through the end of the year. Might dip a little in November, December, but 1.4 million is the lowest average you're going to see in 2024. Crazy. And look how high it came in a 60-day period. There's not been a rebound like that except when we were in COVID. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. 140% 10-year gain. Now, if you go back to the video that I started with, this all should make sense. Why do you have increases that much? Because our supply is so small in comparison to the demand, and there's no fix for it. Yeah! And it's February data. Months of supply. They peaked up a little bit because all those new listings came to market. 1.5 and 1.7 is still not very high. Okay? That means if we stop listing property today, in 6 weeks, we'd have nothing more to sell. I know with some of the classes Gary's teaching, the value classes, they're talking about it would be nice to move to a balanced market, which now they're saying is 3 to 6 months of inventory. But prior to this last 10 years, we've always said a balanced market was 6 months of inventory. So regardless of the number, we're not in a balanced market, we're still in an aggressive seller's market. Average list price to sales price ratio came up to 100% in February, so we know it's going to go above that over the next several months. The outliers were in the summer of 2022, and we were at 107%. Hope we never get back to that again, but we could because the demand is so much greater than the supply. Price per square foot. On the same trajectory, it's always fun when these kind of cross over. Houses and condos in February were same per square foot. It's rare that they are right exact. But essentially, they've more than doubled in a 10-year period, as has the actual, obviously, sales price. Yes? Hello? Where's the prices going? I'm going to wait for it to correct. I'm going to wait till prices come down. Did you laugh? Don't laugh. Just show the video and show numbers don't lie. And this, you guys know, I pull these myself. I literally pull all this data by hand. By the way, I'm having lunch tomorrow with Saul Klein, who's our president of the MLS, and we're going to go through some of this stuff. And brilliant guy, by the way. We're very lucky to have him at this time leading the MLS. Does anybody know Saul?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy that started the MLS. The MLS started in San Diego. The first MLS ever in existence started in San Diego, and Saul started it. And now he's come back as our president.
What year?
Kind of cool. 92, 93?
93.
Yeah, I was in college.
This girl wasn't wasn't even born yet, so, you know, whatever.
He was still a little squiggler swimming. All right, this is why I rushed to get to this point. I also pulled all the agent data, and this was fun. This is actually one of the reasons I reached out to Salt, so I had to make sure my numbers were right. And they're right. So, I don't know if you can see this clearly. This column is 2023. This column is 2024. This is the difference. And then I did volume on the other side. So first of all, if you look down at the bottom, at the, well, this is pulled Friday. So we have 18,071 realtors in San Diego County right now. That's compared to 22,000 last year. So I thought honestly that number would drop much further than that. But you had to renew by mid-February. And had renewal been after last Friday, I think this number, what the changes that happened last week are going to accelerate the number of people who get out or who don't renew. It's not necessarily a bad thing, right? What is already impacting is the fact that the available units went down so far. The next slide will show, I didn't put it on this one, will show you how far we've slid in 3 years on the available transactions to our whole agent population. But in all of San Diego County, with our 18,000 realtors, look how few closed more than 6 a year this last year. From that line down. And then the volume the same. This one, hopefully this shows up a little easier to read. Same numbers. But I went back to 2022. So 2022, 2023, 2024. So you got the 3-year span. Number of agents who didn't close any business in March of 2020, or in the year of 2022, 14,870, 67% of the whole agent volume. In 2023, that number went down to 10,000 because we had already lost a great number of agents in the overall MLS, but 50% of agents in 2023 didn't close anything. How many last year? The last column? Almost 72% of agents who have paid their board dues, who pay their MLS dues, 72% didn't close anything. From March 1st, 2023 to February 29th, 2024. Just that number allows me to know a lot of those people just paid their dues and went, I'm going to give them one more year. And if they don't close a deal, or if they close a deal and they don't get paid on because they didn't know how to negotiate the prior representation agreement because they haven't done a deal in 2 years, do you see where some of this discomfort is going to come? Sure. That's why the acceleration of those, portion of those getting out is going to happen. Not much better for. If you close $1.5 million in volume, how much do you make? Roughly. Okay, your gross is about, let's call it 35. Then you pay your split. No matter what brokerage you're at, you got some kind of split. Your franchise fee, you're probably netting somewhere around 25. Then you pay your taxes. Oh, you probably don't have to pay taxes because you're poor. Not really paying at that level. But a large 10% of the realtors that closed anything closed under that. So here's what I want, and this is good news, but also a little bit of a wake-up call. Because if you've come to my business planning ever, and I teach it every year, usually a couple times here, I say you need to close 12 units a year. And then you look at the numbers, you go, well, that's like 5 people in the whole county who are doing it. That's an exaggeration. But you need to close that because this is a capper level. We talk about cappers in San Diego. 4.5 million or above, you have paid Keller Williams your cap. You've made about $70,000 before taxes. let's say you've got a really good CPA and you only have a $20,000 tax bill on that. Your take home living on is about 50 grand. If you have closed 4.5 million in volume, you can't live very well in San Diego on 50 grand. If it's a second income, great. But it's not enough if you are the breadwinner. And the reality is, even though the units were down to 22,000 last year, that's a stark contrast too. Here's the good news. If you're sitting in this room and you got through 2023, you should pat yourself on the back, because look at those last two lines: total transaction size. The pie was much bigger in 2022 and 2023. The pie has shrunk. I think it's going to expand this year because we saw those listings come up. So the trend right now is that we will actually be able to close more in 2025 or 2024, but that's not a lot of available sites. That's why we actually need to accelerate the number of agents not doing this at the full-time level, because you need the opportunity to be professionals and represent those sides instead of the people hoping and praying they get one. I don't want that to sound heartless, but that's an economic reality. Incidentally, when I go through this data, and I wish I should have brought that spreadsheet for you, what was shocking to me is how many of those units that are one were $3 to $5 million. Yeah. That's why some people, that the one sale they did was $4 million. That's why they go, yeah, I'll roll the dice again and pay those dues.
The appliance realtor.
Huh?
It's the appliance realtor.
They're the appliance realtor. Yeah. Sorry, I remember. Evie, did you take my paper?
Yeah. Maybe. Oh, yes. Maybe.
Those are my notes.
Sorry.
Yes. Just want to make sure I'm doing it. Right. So that's pretty much. Let me make sure. You guys know these things from SDAR. It's one of the things I'm going to talk to us all about because they're completely worthless. We shouldn't be paying for those, in my opinion. Any ahas on the agent count? Or any questions? Anybody surprised?
Surprised it's not more.
It's a lot of opportunity. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of opportunity. We're having conversations right now that I would love for everybody in this brokerage to be closing 6 deals or more a year. Almost everybody's in the top 5% of the county. But you're going to be closing 4 deals a year and be there. Let's get you to 6 and 12. That's life changing. And it's there because we just need to take them from the agents who aren't doing this full time. Or even really marginally part time. And with the changes coming up, there's that window of opportunity because they're not going to know. I just talked to 2 title reps at the back of the room after the first part of the meeting. I'm like, we've got agents calling us going, we need help. How do you suggest we do this? And they have said, go to your broker, go to your manager. They don't have active brokers or managers.
Yeah.
That's the vast majority of those people. All right. Evie, did you have the last one that I sent up? Or it was just a 1-page slideshow? That's all right. Probably don't have time for it. One of the other things, since family reunion that I've had the pleasure of doing, I'll post that in a second. The market is challenging. There's a ton of opportunity in it. And I would be a bad leader if I didn't say there are other income opportunities you as an agent are really poised for that won't negatively impact your real estate business if you put a little bit of time in. So there's 2 specific things, and I can't go into detail today just because we don't have time, but if you are interested in making an additional couple $1,000s a month, not related to your real estate business, I've got a QR code, that's what I had put up. Text me or email me. Email me and just say yes. I'll actually, forget that, I'll put it on the Facebook page, just go to the little, I did a Google Drive form so that I can get your info and get back to you. But there are 2 products that everybody needs. And it's not like shampoo. One is I'll say that again, I can't go into a lot of detail today, but one is a traditional health insurance option that isn't health insurance. It's shared health care coverage, and there's 2 options there. One is to become a promoter of it, the other is just to get insurance if you need it because you don't have it. So that's one that I would highly suggest. The other is that Keller Home Loans, which is now offered by Washington Mutual, has created a sales opportunity for real estate agents to also sell some of the Washington Mutual products. So none of it's slimy, it's all good. All right. Do I have time for one more in? Hurry.
Okay, so let's say that.
Outside voice, because it's not just your
Budget
name.
is 70% of agents, 72% that aren't selling any deals. We're going up against them and some more on the scale, another 10%, whatever. On these listings in July, things take effect. We know how to educate in this office and educate our sellers. I know no one has a crystal ball. What's your opinion on, will this whole not offering buyer's agents is gonna sweep our market because we're going up against 80 people that don't, 80% of people that don't know how to negotiate and be our clients?
Great question. So no, I don't think it's going to sweep our market because I think the vast majority of those are buy sides.
Okay.
What's going to happen, and it's going to be painful, and I said it earlier, but it's going to happen more than once. You know, a lot of people get to closing as agents who have worked the whole transaction and they have no vehicle to get paid. So they won't go. Well, if they didn't get their buyer representation agreement with their commission up front, they're not supposed to get paid. Now, how we're going to police that and enforce it, I don't know, but I don't think it's going to sweep us. Because a lot of those agents that are in the big numbers, they're listing agents, and they know better. All right, last 2 announcements. It's been a really odd couple years, but I got into this year and went, oh my gosh, my words for this year are grace and ease. I'm going to do everything with grace and ease and have fun and enjoy life and shit happens. And it happens to all of us. So cool news is Robert, you all know Robert's coming back. I think you're about the end of the month. In the interim, and we kept this a little bit quiet except for the few people, because the last thing you need to see is your leaders under a major amount of stress. And Sarah's been under a major amount of stress because her and her wife were renting a house in Carlsbad and there was a horrible leak and mold and everything else. And her wonderful landlord said, we're not going to fix it. And then they went in and they tore everything out and they left it. So they have been living in a house that wasn't really inhabitable for the last couple months, hoping that the landlord would come to their senses and do the right thing, and he didn't. So they had to panic. They got 2 dogs, 2 kids, and anyway, they have decided to, instead of panic, make it an adventure and stay with family in New Jersey until they figure out what they're going to do. So they are actually already there. This happened they were trying to figure it out, and then within a very short amount of time, like a week, it was like, oh shit, we gotta do something. So, you guys probably won't notice anything because you've seen Sarah on her Zoom screen, and her Zoom screen looks the exact same as it did when she was in the house. But, so that happened. Yeah. You want to come up here too, or are you going to be back there?
Yeah, I want to hide.
I don't think I can do it. You can do it?
Steven.
Oh,
Steven.
Hi.
Hi, Steven.
Less familiar
familiar faces and lots of new ones, so this will be kind of awkward for people that don't know me, but just a type. So the long and the short is that as we're now becoming more public with it, Evie and I are going to be relocating back to Austin to be with my father during his sunset stage of life. And with all of that to be said, we wanted to have a small gesture of gratitude for not only this office and particularly Ashley, that again, for those that don't know, like Evie and I moved here in 2015, right? And when Edie was looking for opportunity, and I'll have her speak to this, I'm messing up on you. She wanted to align someone who was very culturally sound and was an unparalleled leader and was renowned within the company for her leadership. And there was no one else that came to mind aside from, it was just Ashley. Ashley came to mind.
Within 30 minutes, I knew. So.
And I wasn't very discreet, so I was like, hey, what do you know? That's all looking for, so he actually knew exactly what was happening. But all of that to be said is that there's been many adventures and different journeys that we've had since 2015, both with this office, outside of this office, around the Keller Williams ecosystem and whatnot, and nobody has been more centered for both Evie and I than Ashley. And patience and grace has been exhibited through and through, and there's not many words that we can say that express our true gratitude.
And the best way we could do it, since I'm not much of a talker, is this is free.
Well, just so everybody knows, because you're adored, I think, by most people, everybody in the room knows you for sure. What's your time frame?
We hit the road on the 28th in the morning. We're currently packing right now. And I will still be here in touch with everybody.
Okay.
So I'll just be remote,
right? Nancy's been in Singapore, Barbara's been, she's not going anywhere, except she's going to Singapore. She's not allowed to actually ever leave for something.
So yeah, we just want to say thank you very much for all the great memories here while we were here in San Diego for the past 8 years, almost 9 years. We didn't expect to, but I know this is the see you later. For the time being, I will be available for remote as always. And again, Ashley, this is the best way I can express, and we can express our gratitude to you and everybody. So I'm gonna try to get through this without having to choke. Something we might
Because I know
I have been changed for the good, and just to be
because I knew you. Because I knew
Thank you. Well, that's it. So obviously, you guys can hang out and we get a week left. And she'll be back. I don't know if we can drag Stephen back every quarter, but he'll definitely be coming back every quarter. And I'm obviously emotional because I adore them, but it's a really tough time for Stephen too. So everybody shower him with some love and affection because they're going to need all the strength in the world for this part of the final journey. Love you guys. Yeah, hang out. If you got questions, I'll stick out or stick around.